vertical live thing since I haven't done a live stream in a long time. But let's talk about the iPhone 16 Pro series, 16 Pro Max. We'll probably cover some things. This is actually a 13 Pro Max, so this will be going in towards the trade towards the 16 Pro Max. But I figure I wanted to go ahead and give this a shot and just see how this stuff worked out. I've been sitting there trying to figure out, oh man, how am I going to shoot this video? And I'm like, you know what? Let me just go live and just talk this thing out. But essentially, what I did do was I went ahead and kind of like made a list of some things that I wanted to talk about. But reaction from the event, and I know this is a little bit on the late side. It's been what? Monday was the event. Today's Wednesday. But honestly, I caught about half of the event. And for the most part, I really wasn't like too bored or anything like that. I actually wasn't bored at all. It was more informational than anything, I guess. So I know some people were bored, but I wasn't like completely bored at it or anything like that. So, yo, Genosis, what up, Vipe? What's going on? Right now, I got this running through a monitor over here so I can see the comments because I'm like half blind or whatever. But anyway, just keep on going from that. So I'm just going to talk about the 16 Pro Max, really, because that's the one I'm ordering. I thought about the 16 Pro, but I'm like, I kind of like the bigger phones and I like having a bigger battery life. So that's why I'm going with that one. Yo, Brad, what's up? Javon, what's going on? So yeah, let's talk about it. So let me pull up my list here. So 16 Pro Max. I'm actually interested in the camera button. And I know a lot of people have been talking about like, hey, you know, they copied it from Sony. And you know what? So what if they did? I'm glad it's on the iPhone because honestly, when I've been using the 15 Pro Max, originally when we got like, you know, the action button instead of the mute switch, I was kind of cool with it. Like I liked using it. And I always use like this, you know, action button or whatever to open up the camera. But the thing that I don't like about it is that for me personally, I don't know how it is for anybody else. I am a left-handed person and I like using my thumb to, you know, control the volume controls. For me, hitting the camera button with the action button is just a little bit awkward sometimes. And so here, let's do this. So since we're gonna do this live. So since I hold my phone like this, right, it actually would be easier for me to hit the camera button with my ring finger, and it just feels more natural to me. So I really don't care about it being a camera button. Also, the fact that we have a camera button and I can just have a dedicated button for the camera frees up my action button to do anything else. I could set the action button to open up YouTube. I could set the action button to do the flashlight. So for me, old school person that just likes having buttons and manual feedback and stuff like that, I got no issue with the camera button whatsoever. So for me, and I'm gonna say that a lot because people take stuff a little too personally. For me, it's a cool thing and I would use it. So that's me. Let's see. Javon says Sony copied it from Nokia. So here's the thing. Everybody copies everybody. Everybody has a feature that they've copied from somebody else. Okay, it's not this super brag that people think it is anymore. Like everybody has copied something. We are too far deep into the Samsung, or I'm sorry, the smartphone game to even say that anybody has anything unique anymore. So we're just gonna keep rolling with that. Also, 4K 120 added and 4K 120 in ProRes. So now I know a lot of people are like, yo, I'm not going to use 4K 120. This doesn't help me out. Cool. Don't buy the phone then. Don't get the phone if 4K 120 doesn't help you out. Go get a used 15 Pro Max. Go get a used 15 Pro. Keep your 15 Pro Max or whatever. However, I personally will use 4K 120. What am I going to use it for? My kid plays baseball, all right? I recorded clips this summer of him hitting the ball in 4K 60. And the reason why I did that was because I could slow it down and I could show it back to him like, hey, this is how you're hitting the ball, right? So I have like a practical use for it. Also, I'm a camera nerd, I'm a video nerd, so I definitely want to try out, more features and do more things with it. So for me, it makes sense. For everybody else, you may not ever use 4K 120, but at least it's there because every single year we complain about, oh, there's not enough difference, or oh, there's not enough features, or oh, it's not pro enough. They keep adding stuff to it. So I really don't see that as, like a drawback or anything. Let's see here. Bigger screen. So yeah, we're going from 6.7 to 6.9. I always like bigger screens. That's just me. Like, it's just some people out here that just like big ass screens and big phones. So yeah, I will be happy to go from the 15 Pro Max to 16 Pro Max that's just a little bit bigger. The other thing that caught my eye, it's gonna have a bigger battery. We always complain. Like, when I say we, I'm talking about people on Twitter, because Twitter is like another universe that's just outside of the real world. But a lot of my stuff kind of like goes back to that. So what do we always complain about? We always complain about battery life, right? And we always complain about why Apple doesn't make the battery bigger. Okay, Apple made the battery bigger this year. Even if it's just a little bit, that's still a win. Like, I'm still going to take that. I'm not going to be like, oh man, they only increased it by 200 milliamps. So what? It's more battery. Give that to me. Also, you know, I kind of lost my train of thought, but anyway, I will come back to that as soon as I remember what my also was. I got distracted because Tana here signed up for the membership. So thank you, Tana. You threw me off, but I'm glad you're here, man. Um, let's see. Don Cohen says keep your phone until it's AK-24. But that's the thing. Like, every year somebody's like, wait until next year. And if you ever follow like iPhone or Samsung, it's always somebody wait until next year, wait until next year. It's just like, at some point, someone's gonna have to upgrade. And here's the other thing, right? I'll say it. I'll say it. You do not have to go from the 15 Pro Max to the 16 Pro Max. If it doesn't have what you need, if it's not enough of an upgrade, don't upgrade. But don't rain on my parade. Don't rain on other people's parade who want to upgrade. You got some people coming from a 12 or a 13 that's still on Lightning. Like, here is a 13 right here. It's still Lightning. It is the season of USB-C. Okay, like, Apple is putting USB-C on more stuff, even if it's just a pair of AirPods Max that have no other upgrade whatsoever besides USB-C. USB-C is a thing. It's the second year that we finally got it, so that's here nor there. But at the same time, if you want to upgrade, just upgrade. Like, who cares? It's your money. I've never seen where people get so upset about other people spending their own money on the stuff that they want to, but I digress. Moving on here. Let's see. Do tech enthusiasts want innovation or experimentation? Seems like they expect Apple to experiment with the design. We are going to talk about that just in a little bit, because I'm going to get back to. Actually, you know what? We won't. We'll talk about this now. Here's the thing I don't understand about tech reviewers, tech enthusiasts. Yes, I'm a tech reviewer, or whatever, but I don't feel like being a tech reviewer anymore. There's no satisfying us, right? And I'll say us because I create content too, or whatever, but there is no satisfying us. And here's how I can, explain this out. So if a company, right, Apple, Google, Samsung, let's say they come out with the next phone, iPhone 17, Pixel Fold 3, this, that, or whatever. If it's not a massive transformation, if it's not like you get all of these new things, if you don't get a whole completely different redesign, and you don't get everything in the kitchen sink thrown at this phone, we complain about it and say, well, It's not that much different. It's not that much of an upgrade. I need the company to do more, right? That's what we complain about. But when the company does do that, like let's take for example the Pixel Fold. The Pixel Fold made a massive jump from the first Fold to the Fold 2. Everybody was, kind of happy and content about it or whatever. Within 2 months, we are not going to care about that phone anymore. We are going to look at Google and say, "Yo, what do you got next? What do you got for us next year? 60 days. That's all we're giving it. Come out with something bigger and better next year." And if I'm a company, I'm looking at y'all like I just gave you all this stuff. It was just a massive upgrade. Like, yo, what's up? Nah, man, you need to bring even more. And so we really set this expectation like we want the biggest, best, brightest thing every single year. And then when companies finally get to a point where they really can't give that to you anymore, you just start complaining like, oh, they're not doing enough. They can't do this and can't do that. And to a certain degree, if you're buying stuff, I get it, but it just becomes just a losing battle. You either do or the experimentation and the innovation part, right? So we want companies to do all this crazy stuff, right? But we all want it to be perfect. It all has to work. Can't nothing be wrong with it or whatever. And we want it every single year. We want it every single year. We want something brand new, shiny, super amazing every single year. Otherwise, we out here complaining or whatever, right? And it's just like you can't sustain that. No company can sustain that, especially at the point that we're at right now, where we're at the top of the mountain with these phones. Like they're not getting much better. You know it, I know it, we all know it, but it's like phones are so good now that we got to really find stuff to complain about. Like we really got to be upset. We we have to be upset if there's like a price difference of like $50 upset, right? But here's the thing for innovation, like if you want, in my opinion, if you want innovation, you got to take the drawbacks that come with innovation, which means, let's say they come out with something new. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be the final form. It's not going to be the top of the mountain. It's something brand new. You're going to have to let it develop and let it grow. But we don't want that. We'll want something that's new just to say it's new. And then we'll be like, hey, this is bad. This is sucks. Make it better, make it better, make it better. And then when you finally polish the product and make it a finished product, then we're like, oh, we're bored. We've already had this for 4 years. Like, what's the point? So, anyway, moving on past that with the whole innovation and all that, blah, blah, blah. Let me go ahead and, jump back to what I was talking about with the 16 Pro Max. So, like I said, bigger, bigger battery. I'm never going to complain about that ever. We also got to upgrade to MagSafe. So we're supposed to have the Qi 2 charging on the 16 Pro. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if it came to the 15 Pro or Pro Max last year because I still had like the older MagSafe charger, but Apple came out with a newer, more up-to-date MagSafe charger. So I'm kind of cool with that. The fact that the wireless charging is going to be almost just as fast as the regular charging makes me want to use MagSafe more. I honestly stopped using MagSafe because it would charge so slow and I would just plug in my phone. It's the other reason why I never got a MagSafe charger for my car because I'm like, I could just plug in a USB-C and it'll charge faster. So if the Mags, and I'll test all this stuff out too. If the MagSafe, Qi 2 charging and all that stuff, if it works better and it charges faster, I am taking that as a win and I'm rolling with that too. Let's see what else we got on my list here. So, all right. The one thing that a lot of people complained about, and this is rightfully so, uh, there was a difference between the 15 Pro and the Pro Max, and that was the fact that the 15 Pro did not get the 5x telephoto camera. And Even last year, I kind of thought about getting the smaller Pro, but it didn't have that 5x telephoto camera. And ever since I got the 5x telephoto camera, I've been in love with that thing. I've been using it and taking pictures, getting all types of cool portrait shots and stuff like that. Now, just like everybody praised the Pixel for the smaller version of the Pixel Pro and the larger version of the Pixel Pro having the same cameras and basically being the same phone, the only difference being the battery, we got the same thing once again with the 16 Pro and the 16 Pro Max. So if you're somebody that doesn't want to get a Pro Max, you can get a 16 Pro and you can still have the same cameras and basically almost everything else just in a smaller version. Um, Usually with the 16 Pro, you can save a little bit of money too. So the 16 Pro Max, it starts at a higher price than the Pro series, but you can kind of get like a little bit more storage, or if you want more storage, you can get it at a smaller starting price than you can with the 16 Pro Max. So that's kind of a cool thing too. Uh, let's see. Consumer Compute says, "Don't hate on Moore's law." What phone are you streaming with now? Says Tana. Right now, I am streaming on the 15 Pro Max. So here, let me do this real quick. All right, y'all can see this. I was on the front facing camera. Now this is the rear camera. So let me know how this looks. So I can look at the screen here because I got like a whole monitor, just so I can see the comments or whatever. Uh, Somebody said drag. Say, Tana, you silly man. Let's see. Genosa says, what did they say the wired charging speed for the 16 Pros? I'm not sure. I have to go back and look. I honestly missed half of the event because I was driving and stuff like that. Um, Consumer Compute says this Pro is this year's S year. If you understand what I'm saying, yeah. But that's the way the phone industry has been for like the past 5 years. Like every phone has been like an S version of the phone. We're literally at like the mountaintop with that. So let me flip this back around because this just feels a little bit easier to do. But yeah, it's been that way. It's been that way with Apple. It's been that way with Samsung. It's been that way with Google. You can line up the past 4 years at least the phones side by side, no matter what it is, and it's been S year type upgrades. The only difference really has been with the Pixel Fold going to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold or whatever they're calling it or whatever, right? But a lot of phones fall under that. Ramsey says, what device you streaming with? 15 Pro Max. Don Copeland says, felt like they were short on a lot of detail this year. Yeah, and I don't know. That's the other thing with events. It's like it feels like that's another thing that nobody can nail down. Either everybody loves the event and it's like all wonderful, but Apple didn't tell you anything, or Apple gets a little too technical and then people can complain about that. So no matter what, there are complaints left and right. So oh cool, I can scroll through the comments here. So let's see. Let's see if I missed anything. I'm not sure I understand. Yep, that's you know who going off once again. So all right. Anyway, moving right back along. Uh Dan Tanner says it's only so much you can do with a phone. Seriously. For real. But I'm telling you right now, look, I can say this with 100% certainty. Apple, Google, Samsung, whoever, they can come out with the perfect phone. I'm telling you right now, they can come out with the perfect phone, or we could say, because we used to say this back in the day, nobody says this anymore, but we used to say this back in the day. You could come out with a phone that's state of the art. What does state of the art mean? It means it is the best thing that you possibly can get. It has the best components. It has the best camera. It has the best this. It has the best that. You can come out with a phone that's state of the art, and someone will still complain about something, no matter what it is. And here's my prediction. Like I can record this now and play this back in the future, right? Because one topic of contention with the iPhones is the 60 hertz, 120 hertz discussion about why a flagship phone starts at $800 and doesn't have 60 hertz, right? Okay, somewhere in the future, right? Let's say maybe about 5 years from now, right? That iPhone, that base model iPhone, will be just as good, if not better, than the current 15 Pros and 15 Pro Maxes or whatever, right? Because Apple always takes the stuff and they push it down to their lower models later on at some point, right? People will get what they're asking for. They'll get it. It'll be on the phone and it'll be forgotten. No one will care anymore, right? And it's happened so much throughout history that I just laugh at it now. Because the day that iPhone gets 120 hertz, no one will care. The people who were complaining about it not having 120 hertz will not care. They'll just be like, "Oh, great. They finally caught up." They won't care. And it'll be one less thing that they'll have to complain about, and they'll have to find something else to complain about. And it pretty much happens all the time. And look, this is not a slight at Android users, okay? Still got a Z Fold 5 upstairs, okay? But here's the thing. Android is running out of things to brag about, right? And I used to make the same jokes too. I don't care. Like, don't judge me anyway. But the joke was like, oh, Android has had USB-C forever. The iPhone has it now. I don't care if the EU had to twist their arm behind their back and say, yo, put USB-C on there. It's got it on there now. So that's like one less joke or whatever, right? One less thing. Customizable menus, other features, camera buttons, all this other stuff that Android has. Apple's putting it on there, literally running out of stuff to complain about. And it's getting to the point to where Android's really not adding that much to it to separate itself from the phone. The only thing that really separates it is like foldables and some customization stuff, right? In AI. The gap has shortened down so much that we have the only jokes that we can make is, oh well, the iPhone, oh my God, the iPhone looks the same as the iPhone 12. So what? What does that matter? I don't get it. Like the jokes are getting weaker and weaker to a certain degree. But anyway, I'm like going down like a whole rabbit hole or anything. Let me get back to the chat. I just don't get it. Like I said, if Apple made an iPhone that was exactly like an Android phone and had all the features of an Android phone and had the super fast charging and it had this and it had that or whatever, we still would find something to complain about. It would be one of two things. We would either complain about the price or we would complain about the fact that Apple's copying Android and they have no original ideas. And we've seen this before and we want something brand new and nobody knows what the brand new thing is that they want. Like, straight up. Let's see. Javion says most LG phones had everything but the kitchen sink and people still complain. Yeah, I remember the LG days. Look, I used to be the biggest LG defender. I remember when LG came out with a phone that had no camera bump on it, right? Everybody was like, so? I'm like, but y'all complaining about camera bumps on iPhones. Y'all complaining about camera bumps on the Note series and stuff like that about how, oh, if it rocks on the table. Okay, LG G8 doesn't have a camera bump. Nobody cares. LG came out with one of the first ultra wide cameras. No one cared. Oh, well, who cares? So what if LG has an ultra wide camera and then like every other company went to ultra wide, and then everybody just forgot? So people people pick and choose, man. Like every company's got every single company has a leg up on another company, right? Samsung has Samsung Dex, one of the best features of that phone. No one cares about it. Nobody. I used to talk about that thing until I was blue in the face. Nobody cared about it. No one cared. Everyone forgot about it. I guarantee you the day that Apple does something similar to Samsung Dex, all of the rage fuel is going to come up and say, "How dare you copy a feature we didn't care about?" like like straight up. Um, Even though Apple owns ProRes, they got log recording baked into the phone or whatnot. And if you are talented enough, you can get some really good images out of this phone without even having to touch a 1500, 1700, $2,000 Sony camera, right? It can be good enough. Oh, well, no one cares about that. Watch watch Samsung or Google get ProRes on that phone and watch how people run and say, "Oh my God, you copied so and so. How dare you?" What? I'm sorry. That don't make sense. I don't get that. And here's the biggest thing. Once again, we'll get back to the 16 Pro. We'll get back to the 16 Pro Max. Mini rant going on. This is what I don't understand. Someone please explain this to me. Why is it when people come out and say, "Hey, don't waste your time on this phone," or this sucks, and this is that, or whatever, right? Nobody should buy this thing. Then the person that says that goes out and then they buy it, right? And then they keep talking about it. They like I understand, people got to make money and stuff like that, but it's like you're still talking about a product that no one should use, that nobody should buy. It's totally horrible and totally bad, but you're still giving the company money. You're still supporting it. Like it would make more sense if you just stood on business and said, "Yo, you know what? The iPhone 16 Pro Max is trash. I'm not buying it this year." I would totally respect that. Just say it once, put it out there and cool, right? I don't get the constant coverage of products that people don't like. That don't make sense to me. But I don't know. Maybe it works for them. I don't know, but I just don't get it. Uh, let's see. Dan Tanner says I was talking to my friends while we were playing golf about the phone cameras, and one of them gave me let's see too many pics on their phone. And he went, "Oh, okay." But anyway, speaking of friends, right? Let's go back to this whole 60 hertz, 120 hertz thing, right? I'm gonna tell y'all right now, 60 hertz, 120 hertz discussions are first world techie problems between us. Okay? Like, listen to me here. Look into my eyes when I tell you this. No one outside us gives a damn. They don't. Go try and talk to a regular person. Go, go, go walk up to them like you're trying to save them, from themselves, or save them like a cat out of a burning building and be like, "Yo, man, you know what the difference between 60 hertz and 120 hertz is? Hey, man, let me show you. This is this is this is such a travesty that you're going through this. I can't believe they getting over on you like this." They gonna look at you and they were like, uh, "That's okay. That's cool, but they not gonna care. We are the only ones caring. We're the only if we were to fill up a room of people that cared, right? and compared it to the rest of the world, it just be our own little fun group. Everybody else be like in one ear and out the other. And I know because I tried it in the past. I tried explaining 60 hertz and 120 hertz to somebody, and they literally looked at me like I was crazy. Not because of what I was saying didn't make sense. They looked at me like I was crazy. Like, why am I so worried about that one feature? Straight up. Did did not care at all. Straight up did not care. And what's crazy is the regular people who have 120 hertz don't even care that they got 120 hertz. They can't even tell you what the refresh rate is on their phone. Like I wish we could do like one of those BuzzFeed type of things where you can have like a camera crew, you could just walk up to people and be like, "Hey, yo, what refresh rate is your phone set to right now?" And see how many people guess that shit correctly. Like just stand outside the Apple store or something like that. Yeah. Hey, what's your refresh rate? Uh what? Your refresh rate on your screen on your phone. What's your refresh rate? What's your refresh rate set to right now? I don't know. What's a refresh rate? Guarantee you that's how it'll be. Because I work with enough regular people. I see enough regular people. Like it's something that on a sheet of paper, right? You ever heard of, on paper, right? On a sheet of paper, you look at it and say, "Oh, this is the difference," right? Like the same thing with like the whole Geekbench scores. That should be another challenge. We should walk up to people and we'd be like, "Yo, what's your Geekbench score?" They're gonna look at you like, "What the fuck is a Geekbench score?" Hey, hey, my Geekbench score is higher than yours. I swear to you, regular people look at us like, "What is wrong with y'all? What is this cartoon nerd nonsense that you're talking about?" Straight up. What what's your Geekbench score? What's your refresh rate? You know? Yo, how much RAM you got in your phone? I got 12 gigs of RAM. You only got 8. Once again, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. Hey, you know what? You only used a A14 processor. I got an A18. All right. Telling you, people don't think about this stuff, but we are so pressed, so ridiculously pressed. Like is oh man, it's just the end of the world. I can't believe, man. I can't believe they you only got an A17 and I got an A17 Pro. Oh Lord. Oh no. Javon says, trying to think since Apple went back to their iPhone X design this year, Android is mad 'cause they don't have anything to copy from Apple design wise. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, Android phones are cool, iPhones are cool. 90% of the stuff that we used to complain about 10 years ago ain't even a thing. Like, you can take a drunk person to a phone store. They can trip and fall and point their finger out and they're going to find a phone that works for them. Nothing wrong with it. Pretty much the only thing that I think people could somewhat complain about might be price. But all this stuff is good. It all works. It's all cool. And here's the best thing, right? Remember, and this for the people that used to be hanging around in tech reviews back in 2013, 10 years ago, right? Remember when we all got to the point and said, imagine when we get to the point to where we have all of this stuff, right? Because we used to talk about it. We used to talk about imagine when you could use your phone instead of a camera, right? Imagine when you could use your phone instead of a computer. Or it's not replacing it, but it's a really good alternate, right? All this stuff in the future that we used to talk about in the past, it's finally here. It's in our hands. We see it and we use it every single day. And now we complain about it that it's boring. The things that we used to wish and be excited for years and years ago, now today is boring and we don't care. Like sometimes I think we need to go back to the Stone Age to really appreciate stuff. Let's see. I am missing the comments because you guys are banging it out. Uh, let's see. Genosis says, true consumers care about buying the best, even though they don't know the specs and that make it the best. Proof in the pro sales versus the base sales. Yeah, and the other thing is like, okay, let me get to the colors, right? I like desert titanium. I like it. I'm trying to choose between natural titanium and desert titanium because I didn't get natural titanium last year, but that's neither here nor there. But okay, look, y'all, we got to stop doing this. Even though we like colors, they don't matter that much. They don't. Everybody's putting cases on their phones. Everybody's got all these. Like, I see more phones with cases than I see phones without cases. And I'm talking about when I go to the football game. I'm talking about when I go to the basketball game. I'm talking about when I go anywhere outside of Twitter, right? People are not that far pressed about the color. Now, I know some people do like colors, right? I get it. But it's not as overblown as people are making it. Oh man, the colors are boring this year. So fucking what? Put a damn case on it. Put a skin on it. Jesus. Okay, if the Pro Series phones, if the colors are hurting you that bad, go get a regular 16. If the regular 16, if the color is such a deal breaker, go buy an Android phone that has the color that you want. If color makes that much sense to you, if it's that much of a deal breaker, or hey, you know what? You want titanium blue and they're not doing titanium blue this year, keep your phone another year. Or go buy a used phone that has the color that you want. I mean, that's on the list of things that I worry about when it comes to a phone. Color is like dead last. I don't care. Okay. It it would be nice, but it really don't matter that much. It really don't. What we out here like the Crips and the Bloods? We gotta rep certain colors or whatever. Oh man, I can't get that color, man. I can't walk around my neighborhood with that color. I need to have this one. Once again, we have run out of things to complain about, and we're just picking random stuff that just never mattered. Okay, it doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. It's nice, it's cool, but whatever, you know. And here's the beautiful thing about neutral colors, right? Neutral colors are great because you can accessorize around them. Black, silver, and white is all stuff that you can work with and you can add another color to, and it's not gonna mess it up. Though one thing that has me thinking about desert titanium is the fact that it's desert titanium's only gonna really match with certain cases. Like it's gonna be some cases that you put on a desert titanium and it's just gonna look weird as hell with the camera bump. But it's other colors like this, neutral colors that you can just throw. No one cares. You can throw a red case, blue case, pink case, brown case, gray case, and it'll look good. Straight up look good. Like nobody will care. Um, Remember that S22 Ultra Burgundy? Yeah, that was that was the last time I think I really, really cared about the color of a phone. Because even then, after I put the case on it, I couldn't find that many burgundy cases anyway. And then all of these companies they rotate colors anyway. Every year you're getting a brand new color. You're getting a special new, brand new color. Otherwise, if we had the same colors, what would everybody be complaining about? Oh no, we have the same colors. They're not innovating with the color spectrum. We need new colors. It's no matter what, it's something to complain about. Now, Going down to the price when it comes down to these phones, okay? I am not paying full price for a brand new iPhone. I could be real with y'all. I'm not paying I'm not paying full price. And I understand if you do not want to pay full price for an iPhone, you want to wait another year, cool. What am I doing? Trading in phones that I'm not even using. Okay. It's the thing that people have been doing for the past couple of years. The days of people going out and paying full price for a phone almost don't exist unless you don't have anything to trade in. And if you don't have anything to trade in, I get it. Don't buy the new iPhone. Don't go into debt. Don't do none of that crazy stuff. But best believe people are taking advantage of trading deals. I'm not talking about like them crazy trading deals where it's like, oh, stay with AT&T for 3 years or something like that with a bunch of stipulations. I'm like, no. Somebody, all right, for example, you got 13 Pro Max, right? Unless you're gonna give it to somebody and you can go somewhere and get a good trade in, all right, go ahead and knock $400 off the cost of that phone. You still winning, you know. So that's the other part. And honestly, for me, and I'll tell anybody else this: look, I make YouTube content. I'm gonna be buying a new phone every single year, right? I make money from the channel. What do I do with that money? I save some of the money that comes from the channel. So when it's time to get the new phone, so I can cover it because I'm going to look like an idiot talking about a phone I don't have for an entire year, I take that extra little money and then I buy the phone. It's the same way how people go to work and they get a paycheck and they save a little piece of that paycheck to buy whatever they want. Just because a tech YouTuber buys a phone every single year doesn't mean you have to, you know? And then the other thing about buying phones every single year, and this is the thing that happens uh, with tech reviewers, is this. With tech reviewers, we get the latest and greatest all the time, right? And it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing because you always have the thing to talk about and you can share the details and stuff like that. It's bad because it gets us jaded, right? So when you're always having the new thing, you really can't appreciate the upgrade. You can't appreciate somebody that's coming from a 13 Pro Max and are going to a 16 Pro Max. You're stuck on the fact that going from a 15 to a 16 feels like it's nothing. But somebody coming from an 11, 12, or 13, this might be one of the biggest upgrades they've ever experienced. So you lose some of that. And that's where I at least try and keep the empathy, and I just don't go out there just shooting down everybody's dreams, because every single person that's upgrading ain't coming from a 15 Pro. Only we, super tech nerds, people that get phones every single year, which is, we are the minority. Only we are doing that shit. Everybody else, they holding on to their phones for multiple years. Okay. That's why I ain't got no complaints about the Pixel. My mom has a Pixel 7 Pro. Okay. We done already went past the 8. We already on the 9. She ain't even got to upgrade to a Pixel 9 Pro. She's still happy with what she has. But I bet you when the Pixel 11 comes out and I upgrade her to that, that's going to be a huge leap. But then it's going to be somebody complaining that, oh, well, it's not a huge jump between the Pixel 10 and the Pixel 11. We are in a period of time, like, follow me here. We are in a period of time of first world problems that you can choose. Back in the day, it used to be if you didn't upgrade, life sucked. Now you can upgrade every single year if you got the cash. You can hold out for multiple years if you don't want to. If you upgrade to the new phone, you don't like it, you can actually go back to the previous one and still hang out with that one as long as you want to. You can buy stuff in the store. You can buy stuff on sale. You can get stuff on Facebook. You can get stuff on Swapper. You can get stuff on eBay. Somebody that's upgrading can give you what they had before. Like, we have plenty of options. We are no longer stuck in this Yo, there's only one option and you only have to go with that. You got big phones, small phones, expensive phones, budget phones, specialty phones, rugged phones, flip open phones, flip out phones, trifold phones. The world is yours, but for whatever reason, we take the simplest of things and try to make it complicated. I don't know if that's a human thing or if you just got it too good. I know, I know for a damn fact, it's people less fortunate than us looking at us like, yo, why are y'all so strung out? And you have so many options, right? You got the entire buffet. You can choose whatever you want, and you flipping out because one tray isn't arranged just the way you want it. So, anyways, uh, I'm actually gonna wrap this up pretty soon because I know some other people are streaming. But let me go back down my list. This is gonna be one messed up replay. I already know that because I didn't went all over the place. But I mean, that's really about it. Like, is there a huge amount of upgrades? No, but it's enough to where I'm like, all right, I'm cool with it. I will test all the stuff. Am I going to use separate audio tracks? Probably not, but there is somebody out there that will. Jonathan Morrison will probably use the hell out of that shit. Um, oh, here's the one thing. The one camera upgrade that I wanted is the noise cancellation. So a lot of times if you go out with your phone and you know other people that record on their phones, they do TikToks, Instagrams, and stuff like that. What's the one thing that always happens to people outside that people always complain about? Wind noise. Everybody always complains about that. So with the new 16 Pro Max, I don't know if this is coming to the 15 Pro, but at least with the new 16 Pro Max, they got different speakers in there and they even got AI built in to help cut down on the wind noise. Great. I no longer have to carry that like little external microphone that hangs off my shirt and it pulls it down this, there, that, or whatever. I could just use the phone. And if it's a little bit windy, cool. The computer can fix it. That's one less thing I got to worry about. One less thing I got to worry about connecting to Bluetooth or plugging into the phone or remembering to bring with me. Just pull out the phone and have noise cancellation. So I'm down for that. I got to bring this a little closer because I can't read. 7 Pro. Oh, yeah. Who's got their 7 Pro? Genosis got their 7 Pro. Tefree says, at the end of the day, it's just material possessions. You can't take things to the grave. Yeah, like straight up. That's the thing. Like I said, we just we're spoiled. Okay. I know someone's gonna be like, oh, how dare you say no, 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 we're spoiled. Okay. We are spoiled. We can say yes and we can buy it. We can say no and be completely fine. We can choose we have the ability you have the ability if you are watching this right now and you live in the United States and you ain't like fucked up your credit or anything, you have the ability to go get a $2,000 phone and finance it for 0%. Like straight up, you can go walk into a Best Buy right now and probably walk out with a fold, no questions asked. Like it's not that crazy. And then we have all kind. Yo, the U.S. is spoiled. We have all kinds of dumb, stupid discounts that the rest of the world doesn't get. All right, a lot of stuff that we get here and we think it's expensive. Oh my God, we gotta pay this much here in the US. Nah, bro. Go to Canada, go to the UK, go to Mexico, go to these other countries and pay the prices that they gotta pay for the stuff that we paying for. And we get discounts. They don't get the same discounts that we get. We we get discounts to the point to where a lot of times these companies screw up and you can get stuff $500-600 off. You got military discounts. Samsung, you got every discount under the sun. You can be a first responder. You could work in healthcare. You can be a part of the military. You could be a student and get a discount. You can get these wonderful trade in amounts that you won't get anywhere outside of the US. We are spoiled as hell and we don't appreciate it. There are other people in other countries that would gladly steal our driver's license, walk over our body, and go to Best Buy and get those deals that we basically cry over. Like straight, I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it 100 today because I just like I said, we got it really good, and I understand. I'm not saying that can't nobody ever complain. But to the level and degree that we complain about stuff like, this is a deal breaker. How dare you? I can't believe, oh my God. You know, like we're just being held in chains or something or whatever, right? So that's all. That's all I'm leaving it at. So um yes, hit the like button. Thank you, Tana. Uh, let's see. Genosis says new 16 Pro series. You can stick your head out like Ace Ventura and talk on the phone. Yo, if that's the case, that's worth the upgrade for me. I ain't got to take nothing nowhere else because I live up here in Cleveland off the lake and all of that wind that comes through Chicago, we catch that shit. I tried taking my phone out the other day and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna record. It was all and all that. I'm like, nope, not gonna do it. But at the same time, I don't want to take my whole camera outside with me. Like, I don't want to take this expensive camera and this lens and put a microphone and all that other crap and stuff. Like, no, I just want to take my own phone. And one of the biggest things is audio. Okay. Like, you ain't even got to look all that great when it comes to like the picture. But if your audio is trash, ain't nobody sticking around. Ain't nobody sticking around from that. People taking off. But but yeah, look, thank y'all for coming through. I'm sorry I didn't get to all the comments. I'm still new to like this whole vertical thing. And honestly, I might just do vertical more because F StreamYard, okay? StreamYard is taking their prices to the stratosphere. And the fact that you got to pay so much money just to have a 1080p stream is just stupid. And I just like the simplicity of this, okay? This has been the happiest free flowing I've been for a minute. So I might do this some more. Or I might try the horizontal version. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank y'all for joining. Long story short, 16 Pro Max, I'm getting it. I like the camera button. I don't give a shit what nobody says. If y'all don't want a camera button, don't fucking use the thing. Whatever. I want a bigger battery. Stop complaining that it's not big enough. Whatever. They gave it to us. Be happy. Shut up. Buy. Don't buy it. Okay. Don't don't buy the damn phone if you don't want it. It's okay. You don't have to upgrade. You don't need to. Just stick it out another year. Enjoy your phone. Be cool. Whatever. Right? It's not that serious. So, all right, y'all. Take it easy. Peace. Now, how do I end this?